My name is Mark Whitney. I started TheLAWNET 15 years ago to make it easier and more affordable for any attorney to be able to do unlimited research from coast to coast at a low flat rate. Today, I'm going to just do a very quick case study because this comes up all the time. I am the last stop on our support desk. If we have a subscriber that can't find the answer to a problem, and we feel like they need to hear from somebody at a high level, I'm that guy. And I just want to show you a question that comes up all the time. It would happen to be from a subscriber of ours in California, this question. So here's the question. I'm going to just read it right from the printed out support request. How do I search for the cases interpreting a statute? For example, I want to find cases dealing with California Health and Safety Code Section 25249.6. 25249.6. So if you've seen our other videos, you know we talk about anchor plus filter equals hot list. So we're going to anchor this search with the statutory number. But here's something you may not know. Watch me enter this, okay? 25249.6. Okay, all I have to do is enter the number. There are no spaces in this search term. So I don't need quotation marks. I literally just need to put the number in. Now, I could go through a process of pulling the statute, looking at the text, reading case law. I don't need to do any of that. I just enter the statute number, which is the first thing I'm going to do in any search where the search is driven by a codified item of information. That could be a statute, rule, regulation, or for that matter, a case citation. Any item of information that's driving your search that has a hard and fast number assigned to it, just enter the number. You can do this with Westlaw and Lexis too. I mean, I've talked about this before in other videos. But when I replied to this guy, I said, look, you know, you're going to laugh when I tell you how easy this is, because all we do is enter the number, activate the California state database only. We click search, and then we find what we find, right? What did we find when we did this? We'll just wait for it to resolve. There it is, 62 opinions, right? And so I was just looking at some of the summaries. Now let's do this. Before I do anything else, let me just show you that if I click decision date, right, I can see the first opinion, or I can see the most recent opinion in California, which is in February of 2014. So about a year ago from the time I'm recording this February 28, 2015. So the most recent California case to mention this statute was a year ago, and the seminal case, the first case to ever mention this statute, was 1989. The most relevant case, based on search term numerosity, proximity, density, and other factors, the most relevant case is listed first, then they digress from there. A lot of statutes have never been construed by a court. I'm going to go back. It turns out this was a really long statute. So I said to him, look, if you want to, print out the text of the statute and crib some nomenclature from the text, that's going to get you right on the path of the cases that, talk about what you're interested in. You can just add a little filter, filters are just plain English. They're not code, right? It's not a statutory code, not a regulatory code, not 404B, a code assigned to a rule number. It's not a code like a case citation is a code. It's just a word from the English language, or it may be a legal word, but it's still just it's not a series of numbers. So anyway, that was the simple, pithy answer to his question, and we get this all the time. And here's the point: it's unbelievable that legal research on the computer has been around since 1975. That's when West started all this. Here we are in 2015, 40 years in, and something as simple as this is not in a process. Every research question attorneys attack when they sit down to do research on the computer, it's all a zero-sum game. But if you just think about the item, you just ask yourself every time, what is the item of information driving my search? What is the statute, rule, regulation, case citation? What is the number assigned to that item of information? And then enter that number. Don't over search. Enter that number and that number only and see what you're dealing with. Look through the first 5 or 6 most relevant cases. This is the data set. I mean, if this subscriber were to actually read all 62 of the opinions that are mentioned in this statute, there would be nothing left to know about this statute. Anyway, that's the message today. We're going to keep harping on it. Anchor plus filter equals hot lists. We'll see you next time.